Welcome. How you doing? Let's get everything set up. Get a little bit closer. Welcome to a new live stream. Let's see if we're streaming. Oh, I gotta get that. Hope you're doing well, man, I tell you. So let's get this up a little bit. It's the week before Christmas, my goodness. Isn't this fun? This is one of the patches from CloudCity. Just fun to play. Just hey, and we're back at it. Yeah. All right, let's go to the live page. See if any of the Guru Nation has showed up. I should be playing Christmas carols. Ooh, that's fun. I want to show you a cool trick on this that we did. This knob, Drum Energy, it goes from just a drum groove. Let's see if we can get somebody else to be quiet. Let's see, this is the drones and stuff. Now if we bring this up, it brings in real percussion. Let me see, let me go down the list here. Look for the sustaining parts. So, when you go bring it to the very top, just in this area here, how it goes from the kick not being there to being there. This is what's so cool with the knobs that we have, the way that it is set up. The mix level for the kick, as you can see, is 100% until you get to the very top. So down here, oh, we still got, right? As you bring this up, get the percussion. Let's pop the window so you can see. Oh. And then as you get up to here, kick's gone. Just in this little window. So those kind of things are so cool. It's, you know, synthesizers I've worked on have had like curvatures where you could say, I want it to start here and I want it to go to here and I want the curve to be, you know, a positive or a negative or a linear or so forth. But the ability to have multiple breakpoints and have it so that it actually has the ability to be used in really cool ways where I want the percussion to be able to slowly fade up, but the kick is always there until I get to here and then just percussion. So that kind of control with the knobs, we're going to be doing a video. I've got 2 videos in the works, and one of them is about these knobs because the power of them is just nuts. Anyway, welcome. My name is John Skippy Lemko. Hands together, head bowed. It's an honor to have you here. Welcome. So my goodness, where do we start? There's so much fun stuff to talk about today. I'm working on a video, and I'm going to do a little mini bonus to the video where we're going to do something that's not done in the video. Taking patches and modifying them, finding ways to personalize them. What can you, because one of the questions I get asked a lot is, I love what I can do with Unify, but I don't know what I can do with Unify. So the best way to get past that hurdle is to just call up things and do things with them while you're here hanging out. And you can ask questions and, chime along as we go. So just to update, there is an updated version of CloudCity at the pluginguru.com website. I spent 2 days going through and adding tons of graphics. Not everything, it's actually not done yet. I will actually probably do another update in the coming year. I'm trying to get knobs assigned and artwork for most everything. I think there's, let me see here. If we go Reveal and Finder, I think the version that I have sent to all of you lovely people, go to CloudCity, hello, to the media folder, I think we're up to 345 images. There's 499 patches. So I'm still not there altogether, but a lot of the drums, these guys should be, why aren't you showing artwork? That's not right. Let's see. That's because it's BPM. If I go here to the perk, I bet it does. No? Oh, here we go. Yeah, so the artwork is here for all of the percussion. I don't know. These were granular vocals things. So yeah, okay, that makes sense. Yeah, so there's artwork for these, every single BPM patch now has artwork. As I as I speak, and it doesn't. So hello, Tropical Leaving. Wow. Okay, we're off to a good start with our odds, aren't we? So I know Touching the Sky does. This is one of those that you can just play a single note in the bass in the right hand. And you're writing cool tunes. Right? Now, I think what I'm going to do like a mini of the sequence that I do in the video, just because I don't want to just jump into something super complex. Like, hey, watch this. And you're like, I can't follow along. So this is one of the patches in the video that I work on. I didn't have time. I'm going to replace the Native Instruments keyboard back with my Korg. What is it? The M3 keyboard, I believe. It's quieter. This keyboard, especially I play fairly hard and it's got noisy. So I'm sorry for the noise. I got the mic closer to my mouth, which I don't know if that's always such a good thing, but there it is. So the plan today is to go through CloudCity, show you some creative ways to customize. And then there's a number of new plugins to show you. And then I want to ask at the end, and think about this a little bit. Of course, Unify is up there, right? I appreciate that. That's not the answer I'm looking for. I'm curious to what you guys think was a plugin you got this year that you're using that is really great value. It's really got legs. You're using it in everything. You love how it works, whether it's an audio effect or an instrument. I'm curious. So we'll ask. Don't answer yet. Don't answer yet. We want to put all the answers together. I want to look at this list. I'm trying to do a year-end thing, and I want to include your opinions in the year-end. Also, if you guys can promote the website a little bit, we're at 39,900 and something subscribers. So I'm almost to pop the $40,000 line in the sand. So if you guys can share a little bit, add a release date in case you don't know if, yeah, Larry, there's so much I want to do to the download area that I can't, because we are currently using a third-party e-commerce application that I am very disappointed in. And at some point, I will replace that with my own, where there can be a comment for the reason why something is up there. I can't put anything up there. I can't do anything. It's somebody else's software that I'm paying a lot of money every year for that doesn't do what I wish it could do. It does what it does, but it's not. Oh, I need a HyperKaido. Okay, thank you, Nico. I have different microphones here, so I could try it. I just love this big diaphragm, the way it sounds. I do actually have my, I just got those. I could try one of those. I have other microphones to try, so I could try that too. So yeah, for more directional, this picks up a little bit on the back side, of course. So anyway, welcome. I'm very happy to be here. So we're going to look at some new plugins. There's a couple new audio effects. There's a couple new instruments that are cool. Pipa, I can't say it right, from Clevgrand, is a really cool vocal wavetable complex synthesis vocal plugin. There's Spaced Out, which is really cool, from iHeart, I believe that's the company. Something like that. No, what is it? Spaced Out is by, I'll get you links to these and everything. Like, oh, Baby Audio. Yeah. That's really interesting. It's kind of a combination effect, which I think we're going to start seeing more of. More things where you call up one effect and it does more than just a reverb or just an EQ or a compressor. Things that are, you know, like a channel strip, but maybe more for creative sound design. I think those are in the works from all sorts of people. I think that would be a cool development to have. This is kind of an example of that. And then what we're going to do to start is CloudCity, because right now there is an insane promotion at the website. If you don't own Unify, here's a chance to get Unify and have a little bonus of CloudCity included when you buy Unify. And Unify is never on sale. This is just a library that I am including when you buy Unify to get you even more plugged in to almost 1,000 patches. It's crazy. So there's a lot to work with. It's so fun to play. We'll be doing some fun stuff here to give you what I love. I check out sales every now and then of how things are going on a day. And so often at some point in the morning, I see somebody download the demo and like 3 hours later, they buy it. As soon as you try Unify and go, oh my goodness, my plugins show up, I can layer them, it has all these tools, then people are sold. So it's a cool resource for everybody. So let's look at this. A couple of the tips that I show in the video, I'll just kind of cover them. Solo has two ways of being used. One is to left click, just like normal. And as you can see, you're adding solo to solo. That's the way most channel strips work. If you right click, it turns off whatever is soloed to solo whatever you've right clicked. So if you're in a more complex, let's say I'm down here in something that's bigger and let's see, so something like this where there's a lot going on, right? Oh, this is all drums, so that doesn't count. So a lot of these have drums hidden inside of them. Here's one with a whole bunch going on, right? BPM bass. Now, if you just solo with a normal click, you can add to this, right? If I right click after I've soloed these three, right? If I right click on this, it's gonna turn off solo on these other guys and just solo this guy. So right click is the second mode for solo, and it's so handy. Before you work on anything, you should study it to see what's going on. If it's a synthesizer patch in Omnisphere, it doesn't hurt to go through and turn on and off the 4 possible sound sources and see what they do. So here you can go through each one just by right clicking. So we have a bed. This is called a bed because it just sits there like a bed. We have another, you could also call them drones. Just sits there. Okay, we got those. And then we have 2 sounds for the rhythm. And I bet you the mod wheel makes it nice and bright, which means there's a lot to play with in here. Now, if we wanted to, let's replace this. So let's go over here Maybe let's go to one of the new synths. Let's play with Vital for a minute. So we could call up Vital. Hello, Vital. And let me make sure everything looks good on the screen. So this is the easiest synth to program as far as getting unison going. Just turn on the filter. Let's make it their 24 dB filter. Bring up drive. Okay, give it a nice slow, a nice fade out. And then to make it interesting, let's add an LFO and make it really slow, like click and drag. Okay, and then as you can see, what's really nice with Vital is you can see the modulation knob that's added to control strengths. Just a little motion. Okay, so we've added Vital. Maybe we want an octave lower, so you can hold down Option. This is our transpose for the layer. If you just click and drag, it goes by numerics. If you Option and then or Alt on the PC and drag, it goes by octaves automatically. So we don't want two, we just want one. So maybe I'm gonna replace this too. So let's go over here to Sampler, go to Serum. You can hear it in the mix if you want. Turn oscillator 2. Now it doesn't have the right envelope shape yet, so let's bring in some release. And we want it to be filtered. And we need to turn on A and B right here on the filtering. And let's also have this do like an LFO pulse to make this interesting. So go like that, and then to drag this to the filter, you go to the filter knob from the LFO and so we're modifying and having a good time. Let's get this to be a little bit more insane. So let's go here and let's go sync from FM. And let's go over here and assign this to that. And then slow it down to be 2 majors. Okay. Now for this third, let's do something really simple. Open up Guru Sampler. This is the list of the waveforms, and this is the list of the folders of sounds we can use. Let's put a violin in here. So let's go violins. Let's go to the power ensemble. Let's take it up an octave because violins didn't ever play down that low. Since it's a bass, let's use cello instead. So let's go, instead of violins, go Mega Magic Cello. And let's use the spiccato. That's pretty cool. But we need it to be more. So let's go over here and let's say duplicate. So we duplicate this layer. Click here. I'm going to go over to the BBC Symphony Orchestra. Let's add some real cellos to this. So we'll solo just this layer. Hello, takes it. I got to tell it what I want. Oh, the violins are supposed to be up here, I believe, right? Hello. Oh, turn off the MIDI file so we can, oh, and it's down here in this part of the keyboard. And it's a window to not play there, so we won't hear it. So, cellos. Let's go to staccatos or spiccato. Okay, now let's turn on MIDI box. And to fit in the mix, I think I'm gonna need to add some more bite with an EQ. So let's go flex EQ. And the way this works, the high shelf and low shelf EQ are really special. You determine the frequency, and then you can either increase or decrease above this frequency. And the low shelf, you set the frequency, and then this area in green is what is affected by adding or subtracting. It doesn't do anything above the cutoff point. So as you can hear, I've brought up the gain. If I bring this down low, then it's gonna EQ everything with high EQ. As I go up, less body, more just the rosin part is. Here we go. And you need to be back up an octave because that's too low. There. So we've modified this for this film cue that we're working on, right? I added real cellos. I made a more interesting synth sound for the attack. I changed the sub. It's that easy to add to these and modify them. So right? So that's the power of Unify, is you can call in your own plugins to any of these patches that you start with. You could go, here's a really cool, if I wanted to modify this really easy, let's go way down here to the Unify standard library at the bottom of the list and go to the bells. And let's say we want to add a kalimba. Just right click, say add to a new Unify layer, and I chose the dry. I don't want the dry. So open up the Guru sampler here, change it to nicely reverb, actually looped. If it says LP, then that means you could turn it into a pad by removing the attack. So now it can be like a pad element. And then to further surround that with yumminess, go to reverb, water verb, maybe about 94%. So, and now this bell has, it's that easy. Now, if I wanted to, I want to control the volume of this bright part, right? I want to be able to bring it in and out. So go to, now currently this is in a Unify layer because I just right clicked and I said, add to the Unify layer. Here's a cool trick. Go over here, say copy, because I really only need this instrument layer. I don't need the whole Unify thing, right? So I've copied it. I can go to right here and say paste replace. And it's replaced that Unify layer with just Guru Sampler by itself. So it's no longer inside of a plugin. Just makes it so I could just double click to access it. It also makes it so that if it's a Unify layer and I go to the knobs and I go to call up an assignment, it would show the knobs. It doesn't give you access to the actual plugins. It's protected inside of each Unify. You can access only the real-time knobs. So by putting it into the main Unify, that means all these plugins parameters show up. So that makes it easier if you're going to do more complex things. Now, you notice that I can click here and say linked parameters to open this. There's a shortcut. If you hold down Option or Alt and just click the bullet, it automatically will go there and say linked parameters is the same thing. So I could go over here to Thumb Kalimba and just mix level. I could have easily done this to the Unify plugin too, but I want to show you how you can do that. So now I have this text gotten from gray to white, because I've assigned something to it. I can say, this is the texture. Then I always go large caps vol. So now I can play with the volume of that texture. If you're doing something to picture, that becomes really important to control. And if you want to make it more interesting, add something cool as an effect. I happen to be really partial to noise box. I love the vibe of this and the controls we have. You also have the ability to use pre-filtering and post-filtering, so we can say only distort in the high frequencies above this point. So all that low end, it's no longer affected by the distortion. And then I can say low pass filter. And I just so happen that I want this before the reverb. That way, all these distortion, yummy, cool frequencies that are shifting, hear how they go into the reverb, because the reverb is after the distortion. So let's get this set to be nice and then bring down the mix. I love that we have a mix control on this. It's the coolest thing on the planet. So now, option, click, and instead of just volume, let's also go to that distortion. Water, here's noise box. Wet, dry mix. And I also want to go to layer 2, effects, noise box, to the post filter frequency. That's filter cutoff. And then what's really cool with the way Unify works, I can go to the max, and now I can play with these. I can hear in real time what it's going to do. So I can hear where it's going to start. And I could okay, I want a little bit more distortion in the middle. So go to the effect, noise box, to the pre-distortion drive, and let's have it really ramp up soon. So that way we got lots of drive. That way, when it gets to the part where the guy's stabbing at the, the dead monster and all that kind of stuff, you've got all that to work with while you got all this middle stuff. So it's very easy to customize what is here to start with. I hope that is coming across. We'll do one more. Let me check chat, because I haven't checked chat a lot. What are you guys talking about? Yes. So when you log into your website, Sonny, if you don't, email me, please. Unify support at plugandguru.com is where you would go to. Yeah, I could have also used single high shelf. Right, but what's nice with this, with the ability to, when I was showing the strings, is you have the other bands there available if you need to tweak a little bit. So, okay, so one more. Let's go over here to CloudCity. I'm going to show you MIDI files, because this is the part that gets really, really exciting. So let's call up one of the BPM splits. Again, for the CloudCity library, it ends with 1220 at the end of the name. So it's like plugin guru CloudCity 1220.zip. And if that doesn't show up in your files, email me so we can figure out what's going on, because it's supposed to be there for everybody. So let's go to, now these are fun. These are song ideas. And it's too slow, so. Right? So the idea behind these is that this gives you a setup with a whole bunch of sounds ready to start writing with. It's kind of a mini version of Radio Ready. I'm going to do a Radio Ready library for Unify next year, where you call up these things like this, where everything is ready to write a song. Got bass, got a lead sound. I'm going to use right click on the mouse so that I can, there's a bass, synth part, and a chord part. And then the rest are drums. We could use the normal click button if we wanted to like, right? And if I go up here and I just right click on all of these, it turns everybody off. So it's also a cool way to get out of solo mode. If you're doing live and you want to be like, 1, 2, you guys ready for the breakdown? 1, 2, 3, 4, right click. Bring everybody in. Even though you have a lot of things solo, you can just right click to get out. Now, first of all, of course, we could go to the separate sounds. Let's say I want to modify this, go to XD, and let's use a little more X mod. Maybe we want to be short and snappy, and I want more panning. So I'm just gonna go all over the place with the 4 oscillators for the 4 separate voices. And I want more randomness added to envelope and filter. Cool. Maybe the bass, I want it to be really like blatty. I don't want it to be this like, it's just doing DX right now. So let's change this to be instruments JX10. And then go down the list and find a bass. Do I have filtering on this? I might have a filter on this. Let's see. Yep. There you go. So filter max is being used. So now we can play the mix. Do I want it to be really bright? I want to be snappier, let's say. So let's go over here. Bring down the filter frequency because we want to use the envelope. And so you make sure the envelope is high. Here's your decay. Maybe bring down your resonance so it's not quite so. Bring up the filter sustainedness so it. Find where you want it to sit. Okay, so now let's have some fun. We're going to call up Logic, which is running over here in the background because that's the DAW that I have up. And let's take these parts. Let's take the bass. So you turn off MIDI box. And let's set it to its own MIDI channel. We kind of have to do this to everything. You kind of, if you start using it in a DAW, you want to go through these steps. So I want the first part on MIDI channel 1, this on 2, this on 3, and then this on 4, and then all the drums I'm going to put onto 5. So I'm kind of breaking it up. See how this works. 5, 5, 5, 5, 5. So this way everything is ready for multi-channel use, right? So if I go to Logic now, and here we are on this instrument on MIDI. Oh. Oh, I have a separate. Okay. And let's hit right here. It shouldn't be MIDI channel 2, it should be MIDI channel 1. And then we use key commands, control and enter, give us 5 MIDI channels. So 5 is the drums, so let's record that first. Play along, add extra stuff if you want. So we have a drum groove. Let's go to the bass part. Oh, that's the synth part. Well, I'm gonna first play the notes for the synth part because it's playing on the MIDI box. So, oh wait, that's confusing me. So, you go away. I don't need 2 things. So we're gonna be in this 2, 3, 4. I'm gonna go to G. Okay, have a little fun. We could set it to cycle when we get back to the end if we wanted it to keep going. Let's go to part 3, which is, let's do the keys. That's part 4. Now I need to go to G. Okay, and so those are playing MIDI box right now. I haven't replaced those with anything new, but let's go to 1. This is inside of Unify, and it's on MIDI channel 2, and I have MIDI box disabled just for this one right now. So what that means is that I gotta play the part. So the idea is I actually want to turn that bass line into a groove. For some reason, it didn't keep my piano part. That's a bummer. I'm supposed to be in the key of C. I'm in the wrong key for the bass. I could probably just transpose this up. Transpose plus 7. Nah, I'll just play it in because I'm. Oh, I have this set trump. So transpose back to 0. Hello. Doesn't help if you're playing B over a C chord. So the actual whole all I want is this MIDI file, just for fun. So let's go over here and say new bass. Let's just go like this and export it out as a MIDI file called new bass to the desktop. And I'm done. I don't need any of that anymore. I just wanted to build something where I could build a new bass line. So I go back to MIDI box 4 idea and call it up again. So I lose my whole setup. I lost my bass too. I shouldn't have done that. Well, I can get that back. So just go JX10. turn off filter max. Bring on the filter. Bring up the filter. That'll work. But instead of this bass line, I'm gonna go open MIDI box, click right here, go to the desktop and new bass. There's my new bass line. So you can replace the MIDI files. If I wanted to go to, you could replace the bass lines of every one of these parts. Super easy. So you see how we did that, right? So now we have, if I play new keys, and the fun thing with MIDI files over just an arpeggiator is you get to play it in. I quantize to 100%, but you could set quantize to be later, a little bit more loose. You could go in and have different velocities on each note, different durations on each note, things that are hard for an arpeggiator to do in a human way because it's you playing it. So that's really fun. And then all you have to do is hit save. Let's say MIDI box, the Skippy idea. Skippy revision. The Skippy revision. And we just choose, let's say, the user library. I have all the libraries I currently have in Unify format inside of Unify. So it's pretty crazy. Save as, and save it into the user's patches, and boom, I now have. Now, a word of advice. This MIDI file, this is the MIDI file that is powering that bass. Unify knows it's on the desktop. If I delete this, if I put this in the trash, and then I go to user folder, and we go over here to, this is MIDI box, BPM, MIDI box, Skippy's revision, and play. Oh! Where the heck did my bass line go? I deleted the file from the desktop. It's instant, it's a connection. So you cannot make MIDI files, just have them willy-nilly hanging around, and by accidentally deleting them, you would make it, so you can't do this. So I would suggest having a folder in your music folder, or you could put it into CloudCity, because although I don't know if I'd do that, because what happens if you update CloudCity? I don't think we erase things that you put into the folders. We just replace things in folders with the names that match existing names. So if you wanted to, you could do something like this. If we went to the libraries, to CloudCity, if you went to MIDI files and you put your name at the top, you know, Skippy 2020 ideas. And if I put this into this folder, it's now inside of the MIDI box folder. So you got to remember where you put it. Now, when I call this up again, it's not going to play right. Oh, it is because it's here. But delete that so it's no longer on the desktop and doesn't. So open MIDI box, choose the library, CloudCity. Click to load. Well, you didn't go there. Unify, libraries, CloudCity, MIDI files. And it was Skippy's ideas, right? Skippy song ideas. Oh, wait. I need the Skippy 2020 song ideas. Because I have actual song ideas here too. Oh my gosh. Where did I put that? I put it here. Date modified. 2020 ideas, new bass, there. Now, I've modified this. You can just hold down Option or Alt and click Save, and it updates. It's the same as going over here and hitting Update on the Save page to hit Option or Alt and just click Save. So now it's fixed so that I could be over here, go back to this, and even with it on my desktop, it'll work, okay? I should be wearing a Santa hat. Okay, so hopefully that gives you some ideas. I have a video that will be out later today on customizing patches, because putting other plugins and modifying existing patches with the tools inside of Unify is super fun and super entertaining. It's the way to customize things to your own shape, right? So my goodness, there's a Christmas present for you guys I want to show you. And this is one we get to do a mad shout out to Shane. He has gone through, he likes the Arturia collection. I do too. And this is just a free bonus giveaway just to all of you guys. That Shane made. He made all 25 of these. So he's not just a mad programmer on the code side. He can do fun stuff with. And he made them for version 7 of the libraries of Arturia. So if you have version 7 or later, these will work. I'm going to copy the link and paste it into chat as a free Merry Christmas. So Merry Christmas. Enjoy that. Thank you, Shane, for sending these to me to share with everybody. A lot of these are very basic. We didn't go crazy with not even any mastering on anything. Just usable combinations of sounds. Shane was like, you know, there's a Christmas one in here. There's all sorts of okay, so enjoy these. Shout out to Shane. Let's give Shane a shout out because A, he's a code monster. To brother Shane. Let me see, am I missing anything in Skype? I'm always forgetting to check things. Nope. So far, so good. Wow, nice. Okay, good. So, on the new tip, so there's 25 of these. We're not going to support at this time probably anything beyond this just because it loads so slow. But because Arturia brought out their new version of the collection, thought it'd be a good time to share these with you. So there's all sorts of fun ideas of using just Arturia plugins. And it is just a .guru file, which means, let's see here if I can get this to go away for a second. And I can, right here's the Arturia bonus. This is what you will download. All you do is drag it over the interface of Unify, say OK, and it will install, I believe it's 25, let's see, Reveal Finder, 25 patches. So, and I made a quick little graphic at 12:01. That's why I was 3 minutes late as I was finishing this graphic to include with the library to get it to you guys. Because it's Christmas next week. So now you have to own the Arturia V collection because as you can see, this is using all sorts of different plugins from Arturia's line. And so if you don't own that, these will not work. Some have one layer of Unify, so it would call up and you have that. You wouldn't have everything else. Oh, you'd have the kick too. So you'd have You'd have that, but you wouldn't have this unless you have Arturia's software. Okay, so if you own Arturia, there's a free little fun bonus. We didn't unify the whole libraries or anything like that. It's just 25 patches that are using multiple patches for interesting combinations Shane thought was something. You know, cool stuff. So enjoy that. On the new front, there's a couple cool things to show you. Let's start with, yes. So Cable Guys is a company that I have been affiliated with for a long time. I worked probably 4 or 5 years ago on patches for Curve 2, which is their synth. They have a product that they've had out for a little while called ShaperBox. Let's see what's going on here. No link. Uh-oh. What? What does that mean? Let me see here what this was. Arturia link got lost. Maybe post again. Okay. It's right here. Copy the link. Paste. I'll also put it in the video description. Let me put this in here really quick. Free 25 patches using the V version 7. Okay, so I have added that to the video description as well. So if you go to the video description, you should see that. Yeah, so sorry about the link. So it's in the video description as well. So if you just go to the details, you should see it. Let's see. Let's do this. For ShaperBox to work, let's go to the Unify standard library. Is that another repeat? Links aren't showing up in chat. Interesting. I mean, I see the link here in chat. I'm sorry you don't see it. So hopefully you see it in the video description. That's why I quickly went in here and put it in. Scroll down, it's past the link to the Unify purchase after the bundle. It says free Arturia, 25 patches using V Collection version 7, and there's a link there. Please let me know if you see that in the video description. And sorry. Yeah, refresh browsers if you don't see it. It's in the description now. I'm sorry. I've posted it 2 times in the chat, but apparently it's not showing up there. Okay, good. It's in the video description. Good. Nice when technology works. Sorry for that. So let's call up something nice and bright. So let's go to the synths. Maybe we'll do like with something with one of the leads or one of the power synths, like clamp. There we go. And let's get a rhythm going so you can see how this works. So let's go to, oh my gosh, let's go to Big Bad Beats RX2. And let's go to like something like, let's go Jack Attack full mix, no pitch shift. So wherever I play. And maybe I go, I don't like that one. What's fun is since it's in Unify, you can just open this Unify layer, hit the browser, and there you are. We're right where we left off. So I can change this to other patches. That's better. I want to compress it a little more, so let's bring down the threshold. Give it snappy. Okay, so let's go over here and add an audio effect of the live stream ShaperBox 2. Now, what this is, so let's do it in a historical way. Let's mute that, and we're gonna bypass MIDI and bypass the effect for right now. There's an effect that has been out for quite a while. We all know and love it. LFO tool. An LFO tool lets you control volume. You can actually have a control filter too. And I believe you can set it up for filtering so that it follows along with this. I've never done much of this with the filtering, but if you go over here and go to, here's your routing, right? So if we go over here to filter cutoff, increase this. Double click. So it can control filter. It can, I don't know if you know this, but you can even do things like pan. So you can say, start with the pan in one place. Stuff like that's possible, but it's only volume and filtering. It's not any more than that. And so Cable Guys was like, it should do more than that. And so they've brought out ShaperBox, and as you can see, you have control over all sorts of things. Filter, crush, volume, pan. Time is really interesting. And so they've added a new one called Drive. But let's do filter first. So here's filter. Did I bypass it? Let's see, no longer bypass. And you just double click. And you're changing filtering. If you want to play faster, you could go here and say eighth note. Right? So you can do this, and then if you want, you just click right here to add something else. And so Drive has just been added. Which is really cool for an overdrive tone. And not only that, but up here you can click to split it into 3 frequencies. So you can actually go to each of these frequencies and have them doing a different curve, which is really, really cool. So each one of these could be doing a completely different. Isn't that cool? And then time is really fun. Let's turn on time. Isn't that cool? So it's nuts because you can combine all of these and then make patches with them. So if you go here to this place, how do we get to the patches? Right here are patches. And so if you choose one of these, it shows you the little color coding, what it's going to do to the patch. So you can do LFO things, but it can do so much more than just filter. It has control over all of these different things. You can say all, you can say what type of things you want to see, slow and fast. Remember, it's doing all this. to this. I'm playing this chord. And what's fun, we could say copy these parameters. Let's go over here and let's put ShaperBox on the drums as well. And let's paste the same presets. So it's doing the same weird thing to the drums that it's doing to the synth part. Wow. So it does all sorts of things to the manipulation of all these. Filter, pan, stereo width. Crush is really cool for bit resolution things. If we add crush to this, then you're... And they have presets, so you could say just add this. And let's go to ShaperBox, and let's also add that same crush. And... So for mixing up a signal, it's pretty powerful what it can do, having access to all these things. So Drive is just been added to the other tools that were there. ShaperBox has been out for a while. This is actually ShaperBox version 2. So it's not new, but they've added this new Drive to it, which is just wonderful. So check that out if you are into that type of manipulation. I also want to show you another effect that came out today. Actually, I think it was a couple days ago. That's kind of cool, called Spaced Out. So let me do this. Cable Guys. Cable Guys. Shaper 2. See if we can get you the link. Oh, ShaperBox 2. Sorry, I want to make sure I get the name right. ShaperBox 2. Let me see if I can put it into the chat. Hopefully we'll get this link. I just pasted it. If I click it, it goes to the page correctly. So I hope you see that too. So that's cool. Let's show you also Baby Audio Spaced Out. So this, oh, here, let's do this. Cable Guys, ShaperBox 2. Here's their page. So you can see their website, what it looks like. If you're at the right place, it's going to look like this. And I believe it's on sale, so it's not $268, it's $99, which is a pretty sweet deal for that kind of manipulating time. Is actually really fun to do all sorts of fun things. Oh, still no links in chat. Holy cow. Okay, well, so here's the website, cableguys.com/ShaperBox. And you can find it through Google. Sorry that the links are not showing up. They have in the past. What the heck? So this is where you go to find out about the ShaperBox. And as I said, end of the year, it's on sale. This is the new effect that came out from Baby Audio. It's $39 instead of $69. It's spaced out. It does delay and reverb and modulation in one effect. It's geared towards being retro, kind of, that type of thing. So let me show you. Let's go to the standard library, to a piano, a normal piano to start, right? Okay, let's go here to the very end. So over here in the two, I made a new little set of presets for today. So here's Spaced Out. And if you click in these little boxes, And then here's your mix. In the middle, then you have an equal mix of reverb and delay. And then the shape of the delay, or the reverb, is found over here. Okay. It's hard to see, but right here is an area to click, or right here to choose presets. It has a very signature sound. You have filtering. Both for the delay and I believe for the reverb. Stardust, pre-delay, cleanup. It's not my favorite reverb, to be honest with you. But it sounds really nice in a mix. If we go to, say, CloudCity, let's choose one of the BPM drum grooves that are really, really cool. And load this into Unify, and let's slow down the tempo to like 80s somewhere. Now, in a case like this is a good chance to, I don't want the drums going through this, right? So we need to copy the parameters of this and then option click to have that go away. And I'm going to turn down the dry signal, and I'm going to add a new auxiliary bus. And I'm going to send the piano there, but not the drums. So now I can go over here and I can say spaced out and close and go to the little bullet right here and say paste effects. So I have, so now it's on its own channel. And the drums are dry because they're going through the dry signal. There's no dry signal of the piano. It's 100. Now, what's nice with this too is I can bring down the mix of the reverb and then bring up the dry to do a wet dry mix set here. Now, if I wanted to turn this into a jam song so I could play along, right here's my key range for how high and low notes are. So right click on the C-2 for the two pianos. So they're both question marks, and just play C. And then let's go up here to CloudCity. There's these incredibly wonderful basses. These sub basses are awesome. Right click, add that to Unify, go to the bass, and on the high note where it says G8, right click and just hit B. So now I have, and they're huge sub basses, so they'll take up a huge amount of space so we can get our mix the way we want. So it's that fast to make a split. Say I want the piano to be an octave down, hold down Option Alt on the piano parts. It's that easy to get something cool going on. And now you can hear it in the mix. Sounds good now. And if we wanted to get even more interesting, because we're not done yet, you could go to the BPM, let's say one of the BPM bell, get a tongue drum to play around in the left hand. And so set that to also be this. That's cool. Now, to get hip, you gotta have some side chains. So go over here to Dynamics, get Pump House, click the graph, hit load. This will give you our presets, and we wanna choose, just say side chain 0. Cool. So it's so fun to modify. Everything in Unify is clay for you to play with. So give you some. So where do you want to go? That's the fun with all this stuff. So hopefully that gets you guys a good demo of that. Any questions? Okay, so let's ask this question. What effect, what instrument did you buy this year that you've been using in your music productions that you're, besides Unify? I know you guys like Unify, and thank you. The idea is, besides Unify, what stuff, instrument, plugin wise, audio effect wise, have you gotten that you've had a really good time? It's opened up some new windows you love in concert mode. For a moment, yeah, we were jamming. BBC. Yeah, I need to spend some time with Scalar. A lot of people have talked about how much they enjoy the new version of Scalar. It's all over the place. Cubase 11. Cool. Good to know. I think I have Rapid. Let's see. I just have to go here to check. Yeah, Parawave. I don't know if I have Rapid authorized. Let me see. Parawave. Parawave Rapid. It's a great sounding synth. I'd have to get, Parawave is I don't have the new version. They've come a long way since I had a an evaluative copy to work with from Parawave. They sent me to, but it expired, so I haven't renewed it. Yeah, look at the list. It's so funny. So many different things affect everybody, what they enjoy differently. I think that's what's really cool, is that, you know, for some, they need something really cool for drums, so Easy Drummer is there for Bram, you know? Somebody else, they love Shimmer from Valhalla is a great one. If you don't know about the piano stuff, the labs from Spitfire, this is a really cool resource. I have many. In fact, I just updated it with the newest things that they have. Let's see, if you go to Spitfire Audio Plugin Labs, it's a separate plugin. These are free. They actually just brought out one that's not free, Audio Labs, that I have. I didn't buy it yet, but it's Drum Core. The Blue Angels Drum Core just came out as a Labs extension. Most of them are free. You can download all. There's so many Arctic swells, textural pads, mandolin, piano pads, all sorts of things. I mean, if I expand this, does it get bigger? Yeah. The Trango, the soft piano is wonderful. I mean, really, really nice things in here. This is the drum line for $29. It's really nice, very, very well recorded. If you need that for doing some sort of thing. But this is one of the first of the soft pianos that's become such a popular thing. So many companies have their free version now. We just have a little bit more oomph around it with the optimizing preset. By the way, if you're playing in Unify, I highly recommend clicking the little bullet on the master effects, go down to the master presets, and there's two optimizers. There's light, and all that does is it's not quite such a volume boost. The normal optimizer, since most patches are a little kind of back a little, this adds 2.5 dB of gain, as well as just a little bit of compression, but it puts loud max at the output. And if you turn these off, let me turn them back on. Just, it's like you've got a high quality preamp on the output of your synthesizers. And Labs has all sorts of wonderful things. So if you go here to the list, they have by categories. If you go guitar, and of course, these are fun to just go to whatever library you want. Here, let's go to the Omnisphere library just for fun. So let's go to Omniverse. Go down here to some pads. And Pure Green, load it into Unify as a new layer. It'll take a second. I haven't loaded Unify today, or Omnisphere today. So there it is. Another trick to know is Option or Alt on the volume slider will turn down all the instruments together, so you can. So remember, right click on the S for hearing this. Nice mix. And since this is in Unify, I could just open this up, go to the browser, and choose other pads to see what it sounds like with the. And what's really cool is I'm inside of a Unify plugin as a separate patch. I can still right click to seamlessly ode seamlessly load additional patches. Let's choose that and this. Hold down Option to turn them down just a little bit. I could even put a loud max right here. Dynamics, loud max, just to make sure it doesn't go past 0 and distort. And I'm still inside of a Unify layer. I can go in a layer deeper to this Omnisphere and change the patch. So I could find what I want. In fact, I could load Unify as a layer inside of the third depth of Unify. That's what's so cool with this system is we don't limit any of the depth hierarchy you can do. You can have Unify as a plugin inside of Unify and then load additional Unify layers that have Unify layers. It can go as deep as you need it to go to accomplish whatever your goal is. And also the cool thing, all the plugins you guys mentioned, except for Cubase and Bitwig and so forth like that, now, I want to tell, okay, so thank you for your feedback on that. I can't wait to go through and read everything. Some people enjoying the Roland Cloud. That's cool. Let's see, I'm not quite sure. That sound doesn't work quite right. So let's go into, this is the fourth layer of Unify to the presets. Let's make this a BPM patch just for fun. And check this out. What's crazy is that it could be here, or I could go to any other plugin. I could say I want to go to DCO 106 has some BPM synths, so add that. Now, at some point you're going to start pushing your CPU if you get too carried away, but still you can do it, so it's pretty fun. Okay, so thank you for sharing your thoughts. That's really cool. I love how the variety is all over the place. And virtually everything you guys are mentioning works in Unify. So that's really exciting, or else can be hosted in Unify. So, or can host Unify. So that's fun. Now, these are the libraries that are currently converted. Airwave Melodic Techno. I just want to give you a quick rundown for about 5 minutes. This is a library that requires Serum that Airwave made. It was the first library that we released. And it still is a barn burner because it's all synthesis based. It sounds so good. Go to the knobs. You've got a complete dance club setup. And this is all Serum for all the sounds you're hearing. There's one sample bass mixed with Serum. Everything else is Serum. All the drums. Listen to this kick. Unbelievable. In Serum. So this is our first library that we released outside of the factory library in like February, March. So that was very, very cool. CloudCity is the other library that we've released. That's a full library just for Unify. There's cool drum grooves that are MIDI files. And it's easy to right click and add all of these. There's World Percussion grooves. So if you go down here to the percussion, let's go to the World Percussion kit, add this. that kind of stuff is possible. There's steel tongue drums in the library, so you've got all sorts of cool bells. And when you get to like the BPM pads and stuff, it's just disgustingly beautiful. So here's the tongue drum, both with reverb done in Omega Magic as well as just natural. There's 4 velocities. Open tone means there's no tape on it. Then there's cool process versions. BPM pads, we brought out MIDI Box. MIDI Box was released because of this library. And so these pads that do all these cool rhythmic things, this is because MIDI Box. And check this out, like this simple, if you called this up in the previous version of CloudCity, it was 8 layers of this with a separate poly box and MIDI boxes on every layer to separate and play each thing by MIDI channel. We've updated MIDI Box to now have a polyphonic transpose. So I went through and revised the library. So it's just 1 layer now. These other ones where it gets more tricky, this is because each layer is doing different sounds. So there's a lot going on. There's a pad. Right? All sorts of different cool and then you get to the BPM split, and there's a ton of these that are different song ideas. There's so much rhythmic idea. There's single note, play a whole jam by itself, like Hazy Love. Slow this down a little bit. And if you go to Cloud Hop, this is 1 note, and speed up a little bit. We played earlier with the song ideas. All of this is included if you buy Unify, if you don't have Unify. So this is the promotion we have going on. We've got Zen Nights with the environmental and birds and all that kind of stuff. There's winds, there's tons of keyboards, all that stuff. We've unified this year quite a few libraries for Omnisphere. The Massive Power Pack is here. We have Toxic for Zebra has been unified. Critical V is a library we're working on for Vital. DiscoverStation will be out early January. I will tell you this, it's first coming out just for the Discover version of the BBC. We need to do a conversion. We thought we could do it where we use Core and then BBC Discover would play the same, but we're finding that there's different things they've done sample-wise between the 2 libraries. They've added velocity layers to some of the keyboard, the glockenspiels and stuff, and they don't play the same between the 2. So we're gonna modify the library and bring out a separate version for Core that's gonna be for Core. The first version will be for Discover because we've got that pretty much done. So we were trying to get it to where we could have 1 library that worked with everybody. That doesn't seem to be the case. So we're gonna work our tail ends off, and I think some of you guys will do a thing. We're gonna look at an option to if you wanted to convert it to one of the other plugins that have orchestra samples, the ones from Vienna, the ones in Contact. We might do a swap for credit at the website if you do that through the library so it works with a certain plugin, so that we can provide that as a free version for people that own a different version of sampled orchestra, right? But it's not going to work without a conversion to core. So just so you know, this is still in the works, but we have this version working for Discover. But the woodwinds play different. The other things play different. So we're going to do it and make sure that it's exactly how we want it to sound for core compared to Discover. So now it won't take that long. We'll have it within a month or so at the most, probably, maybe sooner, because we're going to try to convert it as fast as we can because we want it to be available. The core version will work with the pro version, but we have to do core for Discover first because that's where we started and that's where all these patches are saved pointing to that. So we're going to have that. We got this update to Unify to release in the coming week or two at the most. As you can see, we now have updated to the final visual for the lead and lag, and we have millisecond display. It works really nicely now to be able to shift the timing of an entire MIDI file in conjunction to other MIDI files, whether it's played inside a Unify or in a DAW. It works really well that way. So all sorts of stuff's going on. So, okay. Well, thank you. Oh, great. I hear I've been using Unify as a main stage alternative, and it's been great, much more intuitive. Good. Yeah, main stage, it can do a lot, but you have to be familiar with that interface and know how it works, and it's definitely tricky at times. Well, Merry Christmas to all of you. I think we are wrapping up. I can't think of anything else. Let me see if there's anything else I wanted to share on the, I did want to show one other effect that I've been really enjoying and I'm using to build kind of a unique library for next year. I was fortunate to meet a new friend named Heinbach who has a YouTube channel, and he's a cool dude. Very, very cool. Christmas album details. Christmas album. Yes, it's still in process. DistroKid, because it's Christmas songs, I guess they have to get their clearance and licensing on a Christmas song on the album or something. So it's supposed to be 2 days to get it online, but because I don't know what the details are, but any after Christmas sales. Yes, the sale is going on right now, and it will go on till January 10th. 40% off everything at the site, and this wonderful bundled option for those of you that don't own Unify. I wish the Christmas album was here. I've thought about maybe sharing one of the songs. Maybe I can do that. I'll give you guys access to one of the songs that I like. Let's see here. Dropbox. Let's do this. Let's go Christmas album final. Let me see the names here. I'll let you guys download. Oh my gosh, there's so many fun ones. Let's do this one because it's the funkiest one. It's probably the one that's holding up the release. So they're gonna be, I don't know if I'm in trouble for doing this. Oh, I can't put that in the chat. The chat isn't sharing links. The album will be out when it's out. I hope it's out soon. But Heinbach worked. I'm going to show you this really quick because this is so cool. I wanted to find, let's do this. Let's use one of the cool vintage synths like this. Go to one of the sequence patches. It's kind of cool and vibe because it's going to twist it in a really cool way. Do I have any BPM? That'll be cool. So he has worked with a company called Audio Things to create a really cool effect called wires. It's a delay that's based on this big Russian tape recorder. And it's very cool. What's really cool is turning it off and starting it back up. It's just like the machine. It's so cool. And if I was to put this on my voice, it makes you immediately sound like World War II operative or something like that. Let's see if we go audio things. It's only mono, but put this on my voice. Let's see, factory testing 1, 2. So you could do stuff like this. Asking about the live stream next week. Is there going to be a live stream next week, Skippy? Good question. I don't know. So you can see how this can do some interesting things to your voice. Go like this. Go like this. Test. Testing. Get the frequency up. Go like that. Tilt EQ. Testing 1, 2. So that's pretty cool. Really unique in that it's got very accurate to just being weird in a cool way. What did I do? Oh, I'm on this, so I can't. So there we go. And when it stops, it kills the audio so that you don't hear anything until it starts back up. So they really did a cool job of modeling it to have a really unique vibe. And if you put 2 on left and right channels using combo box, let me tell you, it is super cool. So I don't know if there will be a live stream next week or not. I'm not sure yet what the schedule will be for myself, so I can't say. That's a week away. But I don't know. I can't say yes or no to that yet. So it's even modeled. Yeah. It has the exact electronics and motor noise of the Russian recording device. It's really unique that they took it, and because if you don't know, what have I done to make Unify not want to load up? Oh, whoops. Maybe there's something going on with the wired plugin to do that, because it should not be doing that. We'll look into that. But yeah, it's really unique. Heimbach does all sorts of really cool experimental with vintage audio gear, doing really cool things. How many times can you play something over and over again on tape? How it degrades, all sorts of wonderful things. So highly recommend his channel. Merry Christmas to everyone. Shout out and Merry Christmases. We should do that to the community. And I hope you all have a happy, safe Christmas. It's a very weird one. I'm not seeing my mom and dad. It's all sorts of stuff. So Merry Christmas to you all. Thank you for your support and just being a cool community to hang out with this year. You guys are like family. So I appreciate that. I don't know, is Big E in the chat? I didn't even see if Big E is here. Shout out. I had dinner last night with Big E. He lives here in the area, and we ate at a Chipotle, talked back and forth from our cars while eating our burritos and salads and stuff like that. Yes, season greetings, happy holidays from everybody. Look at that. You guys are such a cool community, and it's so cool that you share with everybody else. It's like if only we had this working in the rest of the world, right? Be nice. Cool. Well, be safe. Merry Christmas. Peace on earth, goodwill towards men. We will see you. Maybe I'll do a Sunday live stream. We'll see. I don't know what I'm doing yet. I'm taking off tomorrow to go to the beach with my daughter. She's leaving for San Francisco in early January to go to school there. So she's moving 700 miles away from me. So I'll be very sad. So we're doing one last dad-daughter hang, going to a beach tomorrow. Just actually stayed a little inn, have some fun time. Bring Athena along. Merry Christmas to Melanie. She's on the road. She's seeing some friends in Central Oregon. Then she's coming back to quarantine. So I don't see her till I don't know when. At least a week or so. All right. Well, be well to all. Good to see you. And I will send a email note a day before there's going to be a stream, whether it's on Friday or maybe I'll put on Saturday a note that there'll be one on Sunday or something. But there'll be something. We'll hang out. Got to see what everybody got for Christmas, all that kind of stuff. So, you know. Thank you, guys. Well, it's good to see you all. Be well. See ya. Merry Christmas. Bye. From Shane, from me, from Taylor, my assistant, Merry Christmas to all. And to all,